Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. It's time for All-Jo Madden over here on Picks and Parlays. Thank you, firstly, for joining me here on a Monday morning. I hope everyone had a great weekend. We got a loaded show today. We know MLB is in full swing in the playoffs, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to look at how those games went on Saturday and Sunday, and then we're going to dig into tonight's Monday night football game. It's going to be a great show, you guys. I'm joined today by Sean Higgs. He's going to be bringing you some MLB best bets as well as his Monday night football bets. And I want to remind you guys while we talk about football, you don't want to miss out on the Weekend Warrior. We'll be running again this weekend over on picksandparlays.net. You can get the handicapper of your choices, best bets in football for just $49 for Saturday and Sunday. That's all of their picks they put out on both Saturday and Sunday. And as an added bonus, you will get Monday's picks in football at no extra cost. So head on over to picksandparlays.net to grab those. Over there, you'll also be able to see all of those leaderboards, see exactly where those guys are sitting, and not only get their weekend packages, but you can look at getting their packages for the week, the month, and then there's early bird specials in NBA and NHL you don't want to miss out on with the season starting right away. But you guys, NHL right around the corner. We'll be incorporating that more into the shows as these games get underway. But for today, we're looking at today's slate, you guys. So if you're watching on X or if you're watching on Instagram, come on over. Join the chat over here live on YouTube. I want to hear your guys' thoughts, your bets, what you're liking in Monday Night Football, what you're liking in MLB. I tell you, I was blown away by the Toronto Blue Jays this weekend. We're going to look at each game, see how these teams did, where they're sitting now going into today's action. We do have two games, if I can talk. Two games today, the LA Dodgers versus the Philadelphia Phillies, with the Phillies, the dog at home in this one at plus 112. The Dodgers starting Blake Snell coming in at minus 132. And that total of 7.5. And then the Chicago Cubs taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers, the juice keeps ticking up on this one, now minus 130 favorite. That total still at 7.5 with the juice to the over in this game at minus 115. And the Cubs rolling in as a plus 110 underdog. Now you're going to have to wait till tomorrow for the next game between the Mariners and the Tigers. Jack Flaherty looking to get the start there for the Tigers. Logan Gilbert for the Seattle Mariners. So that will be something we're looking ahead to. The Seattle Mariners, the favorite, of course, in that one at minus 132. 7.5 for a total in that, with the juice coming to the under. And then Toronto, after taking both games versus the Yankees, will have to take on Carlos Rodon in New York tomorrow. That one against Shane Bieber. The Toronto Blue Jays, a plus 126 dog going into New York. So let's look at how MLB broke down this week, and then we will this past weekend, and then we will jump into bringing Sean Higgs in. I want to hear what he's liking out there for his full slate of free picks for you guys. But firstly, just looking at how Saturday's games did go out there on the diamonds, we saw the Milwaukee Brewers get that 9-3 win over the Chicago Cubs. Toronto just dominating versus the Yankees, 10-1 win there. I tell you, where has this offense been that was able to do that versus the Yankees? Versus the Yankees, that's where we have seen those struggles, but we'll see what they're able to do in New York as that series returns there. The Dodgers were able on Saturday get that 5-3 win as a plus 106 underdog, bringing that momentum out of the last wild card round into that one versus the Phillies, and the Tigers got the win. They were a plus 165 a dog on Saturday. And looking at Sunday, what we saw out there, again, my Toronto Blue Jays, those runs came, and they came fast. Now, their young pitcher out, his fourth start in MLB, Yasavich came out so strong, you guys. He had 11 Ks on the day. I couldn't believe what I was seeing out there. 22 years old. And it looks like the Toronto Blue Jays have such a solid arm with him out there. He came out, he struck out Judge, didn't he? I know he tried to walk Judge. I can't remember if he walked him or struck him out, but it was incredible what he was able to do out there. 13-7 win for Toronto. That gives me issues, you guys, because we did see the bullpen allow some runs to come in. When we look at the Detroit Tigers, they did lose the second game to the Seattle Mariners. So the Jays up 2-0 over the Yankees. It will be tomorrow's game and game 4 if needed. Maybe Toronto can pull off a miracle getting a win in New York. But The Tigers and Seattle are split after Seattle took game number 2 yesterday, winning that low-scoring one, 3-2. So that's where we're sitting in MLB. When we look at what we saw out there on in football, I tell you, there was some crazy games yesterday. If you were looking at some of the dogs, you definitely cleaned up. There was a couple dogs that didn't get it done. We did see that tight one overseas with Minnesota getting it with that late score. So they won it 21-17. Let me know your thoughts in the comments on Dylan Gabriel, what you did think of him this weekend coming out for the Minnesota or for the Cleveland Browns, and then what you thought of the Minnesota Vikings in that win. Now we saw the Dallas Cowboys finally pile up the points versus the New York Jets, but the Jets fight their way back. That was a 37-22 win for the Dallas Cowboys yesterday in a high-scoring game that started off quite slow. We saw field goals in that first quarter, but then the Cowboys put 20 points up in the second. It was crazy. The Colts destroyed the Raiders, and you guys, if you were with me, I thought Geno Smith and the Raiders would play better. I thought Max Crosby would put that pressure in this game, but they weren't able to. The Colts just completely destroyed them. A tight one, a back and forth battle between Miami and the Panthers. We saw the Florida Panthers get a 27-24 win. Houston just dominating, rolling into Baltimore to take on the Baltimore Ravens, winning at 44-10. I tell you, I wasn't comfortable, even though Houston was the favorite before kickoff. I still felt like Baltimore at home, a hard team to bet against. I was laying my money on the Houston Texans, but I wasn't comfortable with it. They proved me that they could get things done. And another thing that really proved that they could get it done was the Denver Broncos. Now, I had them plus the points, and I'm kicking myself for not sprinkling on the money line when I had them only as a 4.5-point dog. It's kind of a rule for me if I'm looking at them within a touchdown to be able to cover with the points that I normally like to sprinkle. I didn't. I thought Philadelphia at home. It was almost 2 years since Philly had lost at home last December, like a year and a half. It was crazy how long it had been since Philly lost at home. So we did see Denver win 21-17. That game was intense, you guys. The Saints able to get their win over the Giants, 26-14, a high-scoring one between the Tampa Bay Bucks, 38-35 over Seattle, and then Tennessee coming down to the wire, got that last-minute field goal to beat Arizona. They had 16 unanswered points in the second half, all in the fourth quarter. You guys, what happened to the Arizona Cardinals? There was some drop balls. There was a guy that ran across. Hold on to that freaking ball. I don't know about you guys. Hold on to that ball. We're going to get Sean Higgs' thoughts on that. The Chargers went down. I expected it. 27-10 for Washington. Detroit took out Cincy 37-24. And then New England rolled into Buffalo and got the win. The New England Patriots under Mike Vrabel were able to shut down Josh Allen, winning at 23-20. But you guys, we're going to bring in Sean Higgs, and then we're going to get to some of your questions and comments here. This is going to be an interesting day on the Diamonds. We're going to hear what Sean Higgs is liking. We're also going to look at what he's liking out there in Monday Night Football.
How are you, Joe?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Sorry, I was a little late. Usually I come in a little bit early, talk to you a little bit before the show. I had some little problems there back end on the webpage, so I was like, "Oh no!"
Well, that's okay.
It's
okay. I knew you were going to come, even if you came at 9 at the bottom of the hour. I would have been totally good. I know you're
totally chaos
on your way.
I apologize for that. Yeah, you mentioned this. Excuse me, as I just I'm scrolling through these back games here for today. That Arizona, and I had nothing on Arizona. I was not involved with the any kind of Arizona anything. The fact that these guys are dropping the ball like this, I'm watching now. I'm like, what are they? How often do you see this? Is this a weekly thing now? Like
it is. It is. It's unbelievable.
You literally went from being up 28-7, and it flips to it's 21-7, 20-12, and then again, this is where like the freakiness comes out. Interception, you think it's fine. All of a sudden, I drop the ball, I fumble it, it's moving around to touchdown. Yeah. This is why, again, Arizona is a bad team. They'll always be a bad team. Sometimes you're just, stupid things happen to bad teams. They just do dumb things. Kyler Murray, I don't know if that guy's the answer. I thought this would be the year for him because I looked at the schedule. I was like, you know what? You open against Rattler, who hasn't won an NFL game, and a new head coach who, again, you're going from Dak, who's pretty good, to a guy who I don't know what he is, right? I mean, okay, I know he's a Heisman guy way back in the day, but I'm not expecting much. You're Arizona. You should take a step forward. Held on for dear life at that game. You held on for dear life against Carolina at the end of that one. You needed a sack and a fumble. You lost in, again, talk about a bad team. What did they do against the Niners? You're winning. You get a freak safety with 2 minutes ago. You miss. You can't get a first down. You miss a field goal. You end up losing that game. And then you pull this one rabbit out of your hat. Oh.
Have you ever heard the comment, Sean? And it applies to football teams as well. You can't fix stupid, but you can fix ugly. Those ugly teams out there that are playing bad, you can fix. But that stupidity, that dropping of the ball, that's a really hard thing for a coach to get out of these players.
That's just again, just losing the whole way there. Forget about that. You were still winning the game at that point. Just everything after that is what's not a good sign. That's like the coach, not that you lose the team in week 5, but I'm not looking to jump on any Arizona kind of future action here.
Ooh,
and
no way.
The team you thought, you know what, beginning of the year, you're like, wow, the Niners are banged up. What are you getting out of Seattle? Can Stafford stay healthy? Like I got a Rams no playoff ticket thinking he's going to get hurt. And then, the Niners will be, talk about being cursed with injuries. Although I did take the Niners for this week +3 in Tampa Bay.
Ooh,
I did grab. I'm getting extra rest in Tampa. I lost with Seattle yesterday.
Yeah.
Had the over, but that was a tough way to go down.
And Seattle as well.
With Baker, how many they somehow and I was like, I'm not going to win this one. And then they got up 35-20 2 minutes ago. I'm like, there is no way this guy is doing this again on the road to boot. Mm-hmm. And sure enough, he did it. He did it. You got the turnover at the interception, but man, how many times can you just run out at the end of the game? It was, that's why I took the +3, Joe. Yeah. Worst case scenario, I'm up and they kick a field goal to win. I got to push out of it or something, and I'm just being funny like that. I think the Niners are a good spot. Extra rest, maybe get a couple guys back. I don't think there's much downgrade between Birdie and Mac Jones. I like Mac Jones a lot. I think he's a decent quarterback in the system.
He's looking great out there, Sean. He's really looking solid. He's got the confidence. He's got the support of the team.
He had 20-something touchdowns his rookie year in New England. And all of a sudden, it's like, you know what? I got a good idea to make you a better quarterback. We're going to bring in the special teams coach and then defensive coordinator. We're going to help you out on offense. And I know they never signed the receiver. The one time I received signed a receiver for Tom Brady, we went undefeated 17-0 in the regular season when we signed a wide receiver, Randy Moss. But we'll never, we'll never sign a wide receiver. We don't need anybody to help you.
Okay. You mentioned, I just want to throw at you, Drake May. Doesn't he remind you of Tom Brady just with his statue out there? How he's running Tom Brady early years. I'm not talking Tom Brady when he was like at his prime. I'm talking Tom Brady when he first took over that Patriots team. Just like the look on this kid, the grit on his face, it totally looked like Tom Brady under the helmet to me at points last night.
He looks good. Listen, that was that I mean, skin in the game on that? No. I thought the Bills the week before, maybe they're playing a little bit with their food against, the Saints. Like, whatever, we'll beat the Saints. They're coming across country. We got a nice Sunday night game versus Rival up next. Let's kind of get through this one. But, yeah, last night again, the Bills got to be thinking Kansas City. Yeah. Well, hold on with Kansas City. We got Baltimore who's got quarterback problems and defensive problems. Cincy's done for the year. You thought maybe Kansas City would be slow to get the offense kind of going again, right? They haven't looked their best on offense for a while. But now all of a sudden things have changed here. Now you got a loss. Kansas City looks like with a couple wide receivers back. Maybe this is like the old Kansas City team. Mahomes will kind of get in a rhythm. They'll score some more points than they usually do. I'm Buffalo. I'm worried here. We've seen the defense give up 40 to the Ravens. You tell me a Mahomes team with Worthy back and all these guys back can score some points here against a questionable Bills team? And that's 2 weeks in a row now the Bills looked a little shaky.
Oh, yeah, it absolutely is. It did not look good out there last night. I want to quickly turn to the Arizona Cardinals because you brought them up. You said you wouldn't be like going in on them, they got a win total. It's interesting to look at this win total. So the under 6.5 wins is plus 115. The under 7.5, that's a huge jump up. It's minus 175 in juice. I was just pulling up their schedule. So they're 2-3 on the season. They're the Colts on deck in their next game. They then face the Packers, the Cowboys, Seattle, the 49ers, the Jags. It's not like they have an easy schedule. I don't love taking teams under, but can Kyler Murray really pull this team to 8 wins? I just don't see 8 wins at this point.
So what are they? What do you say they're on? They're 2-3?
Yeah, they're 2-3 on the season. 2-3
against
losing
at the Colts. The Colts line's gone from 3 to 6 after yesterday's nonsense.
Yeah.
So that's a loss. Home versus Green. It doesn't matter where they play Green Bay. They're going to lose that one because Green Bay is more fundamental. You said they got Dallas after that. Is that a home game or an away game?
They have at Dallas. They're at Dallas.
They lost.
I was just looking. So the last time they played Dallas, they actually got the win. They won that one 28-16.
They played Dallas tough in Arizona for whatever reason. But no, I don't see them winning. Dallas can score points. Defense is questionable, but again, Arizona. Again, we're not talking point spreads here and them cover numbers. No. This is them straight up. So they're gone from 2-3 to 2-6. Then you got Seattle and the Niners back to back.
Yeah, Seattle and the Niners back to back.
Best case, you maybe split that depending on where the games are played. Maybe.
Yeah. At Seattle, at home versus the 49ers, at home versus the Jags, in Tampa, in Tampa, home versus LA, then at Houston, home versus Atlanta, then to finish the year at Cincinnati, at LA Rams. I don't see it.
Maybe you win against the Falcons and Cincinnati. I could see them losing every single game and having 4 wins with that schedule. Because once you get into, say the Colts blow them out like they pull a Raider game here, and this game's 37-10 or something, right? Because the Colts are playing some efficient football. I mean, at this point, we're 6 weeks in, and you're like, it's not really for real. I mean, it's for real until it's not for real. And if you're going to play a bad team, you're going to keep doing it. Where are the wins coming from on that? Besides Atlanta, I'm not a Penix guy, so I'm not high in Atlanta going on the road to win with basically a rookie quarterback, right? So I'm going to kind of fade first and second year guys on the road. You're telling me you're going to win at Tampa Bay? This team, a bunch of magicians, they just win games down there, right? I mean, again, we're not talking about them covering the numbers. We're talking about them. What is that? We said there were 8 wins?
Yeah. The 7.5 is their number. Now it's highly juiced at minus 175. If you take it down to 6.5, you're going to get plus money at plus 115. I don't even know if they get 7 wins. I'd see 6 wins.
I don't think they get 7 wins. I would bring it down. I don't want to lay 180s. I don't like laying 140s in baseball. Why would I lay 180 in football? But,
absolutely.
I mean, if you want to, where you're telling me to get 6 wins off that? Is every quarterback getting hurt on one of these teams?
It's not going to be pretty.
Best case, you catch maybe 2 wins on the road. Maybe you catch a home win over some of your rivals. I don't know, man. The Rams look like they're pretty solid all over the place. Seattle, again, maybe you split with them.
Yeah.
You get the Niners at home. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not – the way they look, do you want to bet on that team? Absolutely not.
No, I don't. Just a big shout out to everyone in the comments. From Kev Cook, just saying good morning to us all. We do have the poll running over on X. You guys go in and get in on the poll. We're going to move into talking tonight's Monday Night Football game. X versus the books. This is staggering, Sean, and I want to talk to you about this. This is the first time X versus the books that we have 50% of people just laying the 3.5 with the Kansas City Chiefs. This is normally really split when we come in and there. I love how I'm seeing 16.7% on the rest of them. The over, the under, or the Jags, but 50% of you liking KC. Sean, are we just going to bet the Jags straight up on the money line? Where are we going to go with this matchup? Man.
You saw, where did we see KC last? Nice 37-piece on a Ravens team who, KC didn't watch a game. They lost their starting quarterback, and I think 8 defensive starters were out by, during parts of that game. I don't know if you just run back Kansas City like that. I mean, I understand it's 3.5. And I see a 3.5. I want to take a favorite, right? I don't want to be like they're trying to lure me in with that hook. I think 3.5, 7.5. I want to jump on faves all the time. I'm going to look at the total in this game, though. I think we're seeing a little bit of Kansas City as they get their offense kind of back, right? Mahomes has been missing kind of playmakers and your Tyreek Hill kind of guy, but you got Schuster Smith, you got Hollywood Brown, Worthy. Listen, Pacheco's still good. You got like you have guys who can make plays, and Mahomes is the guy's a Hall of Famer. Even though he's been pedestrian for his standards, what he's done in the past, he's looked like not so great. But give me the over here. I think Kansas City's got their pieces in place. The Jaguars, we've seen them play some crazy games. 17-10 versus the Titans in last week against the Niners, putting up 28. And we saw them give up 3 touchdowns to the Cincinnati backup quarterback who looks like I don't even want to insult the CFL leagues and you Canadian guys. He doesn't look like he should be playing. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to see some points. And there you go, 45 and a half. And I threw out a couple anytime tutties here with, Schuster at 295. He's getting some more looks over there. So I'm going to look at him in a 295 spot. Again, there's other guys if you want to look at shorter numbers, but I think this is going to be a high-scoring game, so he'll get a couple looks there. I know the kid Thornton's got 3 touchdowns last 3 games for them, but I'm going to go to Juju. He's been getting some targets there. And for the Jags, Brenton Strange, the tight end. This guy leads the team in catches and total targets. No TDs on the year for him. You know who leads the team? Not the league, but leads the team in TDs is the other tight end. He's got 2. So it's weird that this guy's getting all the looks, but he hasn't caught a touchdown yet. And you're going to give me that kind of number with a guy who's getting the catches and the targets and looks. He's going to grab one in the end zone, right? If you've gone to the other tight end twice, who's got 6 catches, 2 of them are touchdowns. I think the guy who gets the ball the most will grab one. Again, I think this is a high-scoring game, and I'll take him. It's a +3 something here. Well, let's go with the leading receiver on the team for a touchdown. I will go down that trail most nights on a standalone game.
I love where you're going there. Cody is asking if he's crazy to think the Chargers can take the AFC West. I think completely crazy for the whole AFC. I think crazy for the AFC West. Yeah. I don't trust that offensive line for Justin Herbert.
Offensive line's banged up. The fact they lost to Washington at home, that was a bad loss there. I mean, you tell me you win 20-10 in ugly games, one thing. You're going to lose that kind of game? Not a good look. Not a good look for the Chargers. Where you think you should have a chance because there's some flawed teams out here, it looks like.
There are, and Justin Herbert's using his legs like crazy. Amari's coming in with the Chiefs laying 3.5. Last time KC was laying points at Jacksonville. KC won 17-9. That would have been an ugly game, 17-9. I can't remember that one off the top of my head. Sean, can you? One thing I just have to bring up, though, one thing I'm scared about with the Kansas City Chiefs. So is the look-ahead situation. They're coming off the game where they finally got things right versus Baltimore, right? They're coming off that. Now they face Jacksonville. Yes, Monday night standalone game. But who do they play prime time Sunday night? It's the Detroit Lions. They're at home. They're in Arrowhead. They're only a 1-point favorite now versus the Detroit Lions next Sunday night. I'm scared. Ravens, the Lions, in the middle, you got the Jags. Which team do they underestimate?
You know, you think it would be the Lions spot would be the bad spot because it's a non-conference. Monday night, these guys know everybody, stars. It's Sunday night, it's Monday, Thursday night. Your peers are watching you. It's a big game. This is a big game for the Jaguars. Mm-hmm. Like
it is.
They've won a little bit this year.
3-1.
You think the Colts are a surprise team. So you need wins here. And when you're in division or in conference, I should say, you need all the wins you can get. Mm-hmm. Again, you're getting some points here. It is a tough game here, right? It is tough. Going against Mahomes and Andy Reid is no easy pill to swallow. Tomorrow's in the house. I think it's just inflated the line based on you score 37 points. You look and it's the Ravens, or they gave up 41. They blew a huge lead in Buffalo. They gave up 37, although the one was like a late kind of whatever touchdown. Still give up 30 at home to Detroit. I'm not totally sold on the offense against bad defense. Again, that's why I like the over here because the Jags defense is So. It's an average, like most teams in the NFL.
It's a defense, though, that's forcing those turnovers this season, right? Jags win versus backup quarterbacks. Yeah, we've seen the Jags get some wins versus the backup quarterbacks. That is for sure. It's going to be an absolute battle. Trevor Lawrence,
Maurice says
Sean has to bring absolute A game, right?
I'm going to say, you could say a backup quarterback. Well, how about their win against the Rams on a short week when they lost a bunch of guys? You gotta say, like, it wasn't a short week for the Rams, saying because the Niners beat the Rams the next week, but you beat a Niner team. You want to say, well, it was Mac Jones came into it. It wasn't Mac Jones. It was Purdy at home. I mean, that's a nice win.
Yeah, it's a fantastic.
And remember, you lost to the guy in Cincinnati with 3-2. But I don't see that is where I just kind of blame the coach. And any loss, if they make a stop, it's not a problem. But if they kick a field goal and go up 30-24, maybe it's not 31. Maybe they don't come down and score a touchdown. It just changes the aspect of the game. These guys are pretty tough. I mean, they could be undefeated. They could be undefeated. That Cincinnati bad coach play there. Not good. I'm going to give them a little bit of a pass on that loss based on they should have won it. The coach screwed that one up.
I'm a Chargers fan. I want to see KC get destroyed tonight. I want to see this defense of the Jaguars come out, shut down Mahomes, and for Trevor Lawrence to play his best game. Just not sure it will happen, Sean. I'm grabbing the Jags plus the 3.5. Cody's saying this game's given teaser vibes, Jags in the over.
You're going to tease us up with a little two-teamer, get a couple points in it. Kansas City plays close games, right? They're not short of last week's game. We don't see 37-10 games out of them a lot, right? They're all 27-24, 23-17. They're all kind of, we're going to come down the field with, there's 3:14 left and the Chiefs get the ball at their own 11 or some nonsense. And here they come and they pull out a field goal, or that's how they play. This is not a run them up. So you want to tease and get extra points? I won't say no to that. I understand. I want all the points I could get. So yeah. Sign me up.
Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, you said it. It's still Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, which they always find a way. They give off the Josh Allen vibes, and I couldn't believe what we saw last night. Josh Allen wasn't able to rally that team. I wasn't comfortable until everything finished up in that game that the Buffalo Bills wouldn't find their way back. But yeah, we're seeing that spread sitting right around 5.5. I want to throw a trend at you, Sean. I know you're liking those points tonight. So I want you to consider this for a second. Travis Kelce hasn't looked himself, right? Those hands just aren't there for him in a lot of those throws Mahomes puts on him, but he has scored at least one touchdown in each of the last 3 versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's almost plus 200 for that anytime tutty. Would you trust Travis Kelce for a tutty tonight?
I mean, you're going back to 2023 and 2022, which was, 2-3 years ago. It's a whole different player, team. I can't look at those things. Who else was playing for that? Those things he's getting 18 targets a game and everybody else was getting 4. I'd have to dig into that. I'm not going to go. What is his number at? Plus what?
It's just under plus 200. It's like plus 190 to plus 198, depending on your book.
That's, what? I'm not going to say no. I need plus 190s.
Yeah.
I mean, how can I say no? But it's that number for a reason. It looks easy enough. Like, oh, that's a safety blanket. He's going to throw it to him.
Yeah,
2-1 odds almost.
We've got a great trend here. Ron Crawford throwing this out. Super Bowl loser is laying on the road in non-divisional games versus winning teams are 3-13-2. Jags plus 3.5 for the sprinkle.
That's a pretty good number. That's a pretty good number to go.
Yeah.
13. When I see these big spreads or these trends like this, I got to think to myself, like, so one, I don't know the last time it was played, right? It could have been last week. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
How many of those did you have, though? Like, I could put out like a baseball trend's easier, right? Hey, these guys are on a, whatever versus team. You get into a deep trend like that, like we're talking about Kelce's touchdowns. Well, we're talking years in the making. Like that one, I don't know. I don't have the Ron's database from me, so I don't know. Are any of those games this year? Are they from last year? I don't know. I like them because they're kind of right? if you like the Jags, it's something to jump on.
It's such a strong trend to jump on if you like the Jags.
know.
I think you can find a lot of trends, and I'm not discounting Ron's trend. I love this trend. I think it's great. You're looking at a Super Bowl loser in non-divisional games. So it is a relevant trend because that would happen over the years. But I feel, Sean, when you dig into those trends, you could find on when their birthday was last week and then playing in the next week on a Monday night versus a team, right? Like you can go so deep into trends.
Like if a couple of these happen like weeks 1 and 2 or 3, like early in the season, I'd be more inclined to them. So that goes back to 1990.
Wow.
Which,
okay.
I mean, that's not a lot of games. I mean, like, what's that? 18 games in 35 years?
KC fan. Come on, Ron. I thought we were friends this morning. KC fan? What are you talking about?
So it doesn't happen all that much.
Go back to Cody here saying Cody looking at the Chargers to take the AFC. Cody's my friend this morning.
No, that's
they're not. They're not doing it. They're not at all. I'm a realist, that's for sure.
No, it's crazy because I would have said like, "Hey, Chargers, take a shot on Denver beginning of the year," because I can't just tell you to take the odds-on favorite. I'm not going to do that. And I thought Kansas City would be like a 9 or 10 win team. Like I thought they were going to be available to be picked off a little bit, but we've seen both of those other teams
their win total.
Lose a couple games.
Yeah. Let's pull it up here. Their win total coming in. Under 9.5 is plus 200. Over 10.5 is minus 125. They get 11 wins, don't they, Sean? We're looking at KC. They haven't started the season off that strong, but I don't see them not getting 11 wins.
You know,
they're 2-2.
You look at it. I mean, this is not a layup when you're on the road as a favorite versus a tough kind of team. Again, you're Kansas City. Everybody's gonna come out and want to play their best game against the quarterback, right? He's still kind of like the quarterback here. Detroit's not a layup at home. They're a pretty good team. Raiders at home, you should win. Washington, I'm gonna say you should beat Washington at home. You should be the second-year quarterback in Arrowhead, and you're a defensive first team. You should win that game. Buffalo's going to be a tough game.
Mm-hmm.
That's not easy. Denver should have beat you twice last year. You know, they had a blocked field goal. Denver's that's not an easy one.
They lost last year to Denver 0-38. I forgot about that. Yeah. 0-38 versus Denver. Oh.
Yeah. I'll give them the win over the Colts at home because that's a dome team coming out. I mean, that's like Thanksgiving, right? Mid-November. Who knows what that weather is going to be like? I will fade a dome team coming outside where it could be 20 degrees. It could be snow. I don't know what it's going to be like. But just looking at it, I'm not going to look to bet then there. At Dallas, that's a game Dallas chokes away. Dallas will choke. They got the coaching will just choke that game away for them. Texans look like they're terrible. Chargers at home, they should beat, although that'll be a close game.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee Titans are terrible. Might be winless. And then you got Denver again at home, and you finish up with the Raiders, which maybe they lose that game because they're benching everybody. Who knows? But what's that? We could figure out, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Not even counting. I could give them 7 more wins to get them 9, and that's not even counting the Jags or Detroit. So they could get that 11. It won't shock me. I'm not. Listen, I like win total sometimes. I got Miami under wins and Bears under wins. That's all I took this year.
Oh, I like both of those. Nicely down on those two.
Although Miami's shown some life now, I thought they'd be out without a coach. I could come back and get me there. And I got the Bears. I like the Bears this week. I think the Bears win this week. So
yeah.
But you got to take those individual. I can't look at the whole thing and be like X, Y, Z, and you're going to get this many wins or losses. You got to take them game by game. That's fun to do, but sometimes, regardless of if you have a win total or a loss total, what's the spread that day? Do you like them? That's what it comes down to for me, weekly, or daily spreads, however you want to word that when betting.
Yeah, it's going to be hard games versus both Buffalo and Denver run throwing out there.
And then you come home and play a Colts team there, Ron, which, again, you got the Colts at home.
Yeah.
You should win there. You're home versus the Dome team in the end of November. Should be a win for you.
Should be a win. They've got 3 divisional games in their last 4 weeks. Kicking off with the Chargers, and then they'll be at Tennessee, but then they're home versus Denver than in Vegas to take on the Raiders. So Kansas City Chiefs is going to be interesting to see if they get the win tonight versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Just to remind you guys, this is where Sean Higgs is going with his best bet in the NFL. Sean, take it away.
There you go. Jags over Kansas City. And then we go over the total 45.5. Couple tutties, Juju Smith, plus 295, and Brenton Strange, plus 340 there. And there you go. I know there's a couple other guys that might find a little sexier. I tried to find a little bit deeper though for you. I try to dig a little deep, so I'm going to go Schuster and Strange.
Yeah, you're always bringing the sexy back with that plus money, though, Sean. Come on. This plus money is way sexier than looking at those, top wide receivers out there just to get the ball, where anyone can give you that. That's coming in at great. You look at Worthy, and you're going to have to lay some juice on some books, get a little bit plus money on others. So I love that you're bringing that plus money bets. We're going to turn to MLB, just making sure there's not a couple more questions here. KC, no playoffs is plus 280. Tim Earl, no way.
I can't say that one. That's not worth it for me. I mean, that is you're thinking Mahomes gets hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, because you haven't seen a great Denver. I mean, Denver. Okay, you should have won at the Colts. You probably should have beat the Chargers. But again, you're a second-year guy. You're going to have some growing pains. The Chargers. Yeah. What? That's what we're betting on here. You got teams that are banged up.
Come on. Their alt line is destroyed. Offensive line is destroyed with Joe Alt out, right? Like, I just can't do it. It will be Turkey Day when they face Dallas.
The Bills are going to be in. At this rate, it looks like the Steelers are going to win the AFC North, right? So none of those other teams. Baltimore might not make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Maybe both the Jags and Colts make the playoffs. That's 4. And then where you get you need other teams from the playoffs. That's going to be Kansas City, the Chargers, and Denver. I mean,
it is kind of surprising. I'm with you, Tim. At plus 280 to not make the playoffs, that is a really sure. I would have expected more plus money, like plus 500 not to make the playoffs. It's Kansas City Chiefs. So let's move on to MLB, Sean. We've got some great games today. Okay, biggest takeaway of the weekend for me out there on the diamonds. How the heck did the Toronto Blue Jays just absolutely destroy the Yankees this weekend? I couldn't believe the offensive production. I couldn't believe that Savage kid coming out, his composure, his abilities, a 22-year-old fourth start, blown away. Which team really shocked you this weekend?
The Blue Jay win doesn't shock me because they took the season series from the Yanks. You beat them in Toronto. Now, by really this, I mean, if you want to say, am I shocked that they really hammered Max Fried would be one thing. Okay, I could get into they beat him. But this kid, Savage, had some nice starts, right? I mean, he had some good starts during the season. And why are we shocked that I'm a Yankee guy. You know what I mean? Over the years, I've seen during regular season, some clown comes up from AAA, some 4A guy or some guy you never heard of comes in, whether he's on the Blue Jays, the Orioles, the White Sox, and just come in and go 7 innings and strike out like 9 Yanks. You're thinking like, what the hell? Who is this guy?
Well, because they haven't seen tape on him, right? It's so hard for a new pitcher. Right?
We saw the other day, Schroeder come in and strike 15 guys out in 7 innings. Again, the young guy comes in. You're in a groove. Again, baseball today, strikeouts are cool, right? Nobody cares about strikeouts. These guys swing for the fences. And that's who the Yankees are. The Yankees are a bunch of strikeout home run guys. That's why the game was 13-7 the other day. I mean, that doesn't shock me. As the Yanks are a flawed team, and you can beat up teams all season long, right? And then you get to the playoffs and you find a little better pitcher and this and that, and here you are. Do you write them off? I can't listen. You're a Blue Jay fan. Are you?
I write my teams off. I sell on my teams.
That bullpen came in and gave up 7 runs for you. No, I'm not. I'd be worried. This is going to come back to Toronto. I mean, you're going to the Yanks are going to win a couple games at home here. Probably a 7-game series. Yeah. I won't be shocked if it goes 7.
Yeah, I won't. I won't be shocked if this one goes deep. One thing to note: you just mentioned the Yankees strikeout machines, 11 strikeouts yesterday. Shane Bieber coming in on a Tuesday. This matchup isn't till tomorrow, you guys. He's got a strikeout prop of 5.5. If you're liking him to the over, just be a little cautious. His last game out versus Tampa, he had only 3 strikeouts. That closing number was 6.5. The last time he went over 5.5 was September 3rd versus the Cincinnati Reds, where he put 6 on the board. That one closed at 5.5, and he did do it in the game prior versus the Milwaukee Brewers. He had 6, and at Miami, he had 9 on August 22nd. So I'm not sure if Shane Bieber will be able to strike out as many, but 5.5 seems like a light number with your comments there.
Listen, I would take the over with him. This is playoff baseball. Everybody's pressing. Yeah, Tim the Yankee fan. Tim's had a rough one.
I love you guys are in here. Thanks for coming over to the YouTube channel.
I would kind of look to the over in that one. Again, you just see the strikeouts kind of come in baseball here. Guys are going to be swinging, and he hasn't done it. I would say over here for this. Yeah. Even Rodon. Listen, Rodon's pitching. I would do his. I would do his strikeouts.
It's 4.5 at minus 152. You got to ult him. It's too juiced.
I like Rodon. I thought it was a good sign for the Yanks. Healthy. You see them last 2 years deliver.
Yeah.
Listen, Cole's playing. You don't know what kind of team this is. You have no idea. And next year, you never know. That's why it was disappointing to see a team like the Orioles last year not go all in and try to get Skubal, who, looked pretty good yesterday. He gave up 2 home runs to Palazzo, whoever.
Mm-hmm.
Man, if the Tigers would have went up 2-0, well, I would have been shocked. I thought Cleveland was going to get them because they've just been so lethargic, and then you almost just went up 2-0 on Seattle. Although here's the problem now. Now you got these guys. You got a split, which is I think they wanted going in, right? You think maybe you lose game 1 and win with Skubal. They ended up splitting. But here's the problem with these other pitchers, man. They're just, I don't know, not a big. Flannery hasn't been good, and then who are we rolling out? Montero here and these guys.
Definitely. Had those struggles.
I'm pulling for Seattle. I'd love to see a Seattle Brewer World Series. That's what I want. I really do. Seattle's been a team I've liked for a long time, just because of their pitching staff. I'm like, wow, these guys, such a good staff. Can they do something? Can they hit the ball?
Mm-hmm.
You start hitting the ball, and all of a sudden you got 90 wins or in the playoffs. It's good to see the little guys come through.
Oh, it absolutely is. I just wanted to mention, I have to give I have to tip my hat to Vladdy. Vladdy, I was not happy with the agreement we signed with him, but Vladdy was able to get the grand slam yesterday out there, just bringing that power behind his bat. So hats off to him. I'm eating my words, what I thought of Vladdy, but he's looking so solid out there, Sean. But let's jump into today's matchups. We've got 2 games out there on the diamonds today, and I know you're looking at a couple of things in both of these. Now, you do have all of your best bets up for sale over on picksandparlays.net, so you guys make sure you do head on over there to get those best bets. Sean Higgs's full slate is over there, but let's look at these matchups. So today we have the LA Dodgers taking on the Phillies. The Phillies, the dog at home. Looking at this matchup, total 7.5. Lozado pitching for the Phillies. Blake Snell pitching for the Dodgers. What have you got for us?
I like the Phillies here. And again, for no other reason, I don't have it on the site. I do have the other game on the site, and I'll give it to you for free here. There's a little freemium action for you. Give me the Phils. This is aren't they all must-win games? I hate saying crap like that, so cliche and nonsense, but you're going on the road down 0-2. Might as well just – why even bother going? You'll be coming home. You'll be coming home in 3 days anyway. Phillies get it done here. This is everything, all hands on deck game. You need to win. You do. I mean, you get down 0-2, it's over. It's over. Let's just be honest here. I don't care what team it is. This isn't the Yankees getting down 0-2 Toronto with a bad bullpen. The Dodgers, they got a $1 billion payroll for a reason, right? They've came through the season not even good, right? Win total 105. They won 90-some games. Didn't look good doing it. They got a lot of money invested in the staff. They're moving the staff guys to the bullpen. And they're like, F it. Who cares? Who cares that Kershaw's started, relieved 2 games in 40 years here? Instead of using him as like a open, like you think, hey, Kershaw, how about we use you as an opener for 2 innings? No. We're not going to use a starting pitcher as an opener for 2 innings. Let's change this whole routine up and pull him out of the bullpen. Like, they're prime. So this is the Phillies, the proverbial win or go home game. This is it. I mean, you're winning and going on the road, but you'll be back home and by the end of the week with your luggage knocked out on playoffs. You got to win this game. As a Philadelphia hater, this is it. It's Philly or nothing for me in this one.
Yeah, it definitely has to be. And let's look at that next game. The Chicago Cubs taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers minus 130 in this matchup, total 7.5, the juice to the over, Sean.
Yeah, I like the Brewers to go up 2-0. This is a team that nobody likes. It's the Dodgers or Phillies are going to, win the World Series. And all these guys do is just win every single day or 5 out of 6 and just win games. No one talks about them. And the Cubbies, to me, this has not been the same team since, mid-July? They have not hit for power. I like some of their staff, but the Horton loss hurts, kind of pushes everybody up a spot here. They switched the pitchers in this one. Give me the Brewers. Brewers going to win this in 5. Nice gentleman sweep here. Get the Cubbies out. How do you go against the Brewers? All they do is win games. And you're going to lay short little numbers with them? I'll take them. I'll grab the low-hanging fruit. I don't care. Okay. Sign me up for the Brewers to win this one. And I'll be on the Brewers. I got them on the site. You get it for free here. I'm having a pretty good baseball season. I think I'm number 2 or 3 for the year in MLB. So it's, I'm on the Brewers. I'll have the Brewers on whenever they play. That'll be – today's Monday, so I guess they'll play on Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah.
Whenever the next is, they have to delay these games. Nonsense that they do.
I know. Stop spreading it out. We should have 4 games today, not 2 games today, 2 games tomorrow.
There should be a game starting in an hour. There should be a 1:00 game somewhere. I get it though. They want their money. No, no day games. Let's start them at 9:00 at night when nobody's going to watch. Terrible.
Yeah, I agree. I know. Beyonce and Higgs. I don't know where the name Beyonce came from. I kind of have attitude like Beyonce sometimes. You guys don't see it because it is post.
I was just saying Canadian. Didn't you be like Celine Dion or something? I'm trying to think of a Canadian singer.
Oh yeah, Shania. I like Shania Twain.
Shania Twain from out there? I don't even know. I
was
gonna say Rush, Canadian. But they're guys, so I can't really call you Rush. I mean, Canadian singer.
That's okay. I'll take it. I'll take it. Ron coming out with the
Alex Trebek and Sean Hicks today, the most famous Canadian. Why would it be Alex Trebek the most famous, or Michael J. Fox? Who's the most famous Canadian? Next to you.
Famous Canadian next to me.
Jesse Shuley?
I don't know. Who's the most famous Canadian? I don't know. We'll have to. You guys weigh in. Let's hear it. Let's hear it for sure. Okay. We've got a great day. I've kept you forever, Sean. I'm just going to run down your baseball picks one more time, you guys. Sean's rolling with the Phillies at minus 110, as well as the Milwaukee Brewers at minus 130. We went over so much, Sean. I appreciate all of your time here today. It was a great show. I had a lot of fun.
I like I said, I always could just wander in the backstage here. You never know, I'm just be wandering in to come in, like, hey, I'm here today. I'll give my 2 cents.
Yeah.
Look at Billy Joe Armstrong. Come on, from Green Day.
Oh yeah, the Green Day guy. I always forget his name. I always forget he's Canadian too. I like their music. You in for some good Green Day today? That's what I'm going to play after. Tim Earl, thank you so much. I'm going to put some Green Day on after this. When I was like 25, the Green Day was all right. I don't know. I'll turn on either like Yacht Rock later on my on Sirius when I'm doing football stuff, or maybe I enjoy the Neil Diamond channels. Nice, relaxing. Yeah. Although, have you listened to the Mom Jeans channel on XM? The Mom Jeans channel. I have not heard this. Mom's Jeans channel.
It's on the desktop. Yeah, write it down. It's the Mom Jeans channel. And I listened. I went through it. It's only they only got a certain amount of songs there because I think I listened to every song in about an hour and 25 minutes.
Is this music that I can put on like when I'm driving my mom minivan? I don't have a mom minivan, but like what kind of music are they playing? Yeah, if I had a mom minivan, would I play it?
Yeah, it's just like 90s kind of pop, like or like Debbie Gibson. It says and there's there's like a dad channel too that plays like 90s alternative music. Like you think
I love 90s hip hop. Give me 90s hip hop, 90s alternative. When I'm cleaning my house, I got a mix of that going, Sean, and I never know what I'm gonna get. Some of the name songs I can't say here, but you're just like cleaning. It makes the house cleaning go a lot faster.
No, see, I have to go for hip hop. I got to go from like 88 to like 92. Like that was like premier Yo MTV raps when I was like in high school.
Those were the solid stuff.
Those were the great days. I can't do. I mean, there's a couple good songs in the 90s. Although we could do like R&B kind of stuff. I get some good early up to like 95, and then it's all over the place.
Yeah, basically cleaning my house to Ja Rule over here. You never know what is going to come on. Some Missy, some tons. Eminem's been my huge driving song as of late. I've been listening to Eminem.
I don't think Eminem was more like 99. See, I'm not gonna ask your age on there, but like I'm guessing you're probably a little younger than me though. So that was probably
the 90s are the classics. The 90s are the classics, Sean, right? Like you turn on those 90s like songs, I think between like 2004 and 2010, a lot of Backstreet kind of songs, right? Like not Backstreet Boys, but like NSYNC, kind of like weird. No Wild 95.3.
I can't remember early 2000 to 2010 songs.
Yeah. I don't like those boy bands. So I've never been a boy band person, but I digress. Sean, I've kept you here 51 minutes now. I'll let you go. Yeah, I know you got lots to do. You get those bets up on the site. Everyone wants to come on over to picksandparlays.net. Jump on Sean Higgs's best bets over there. He will be part of the Weekend Warrior this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. All of his football picks for just $49. Added bonus. You'll get Monday picks for free for any of those Monday plays. So if you got Higgs's packages this weekend, you're going to get those Monday NFL bets up there. Sean, thank you so much for joining me here today. I missed you on Thursday and Friday. That's why we had to have such a long chat today.
We have our little back channel message boards we got to do it through. So I really don't say a lot. Like if I'll be after this. I'm going to do my little show after this. So I'm always around. So I don't want to just randomly come on every single day because they're going to be like, "Oh, who wants to see me every day?" I'm like who are these people?
I do.
Here is Isabella, Matt, and Merlo.
I don't know either of those people, but Higgs.
Yeah, NSYNC. Yeah.
NSYNC. Backstreet NSYNC.
I see. To me, I'd rather you say like New Kids on the Block because that was like in the late '80s, like the 90 New Kids on the Block, right? Hanging Tough. Yeah.
Okay. Every time I think of any of those boy bands, I think of that crisscross kind of like dance they did, but not that crisscross. Like that crisscross song, that's a good one. But that crisscross dance move,
make you want to jump.
I could see you pulling out. You and Jesse Schultz could pull out the dance. Yeah. Crisscross going to make you want to.
We had, who's that? The boy bands were like NSYNC and 98 Degrees. And who's the other ones?
Oh, I don't know. There's so many. Parlay, 3-leg, anything to add? Well, what are the legs of your parlay? I've got some best bets for you guys as well in this game.
Yeah, I'm leaving, Joe. Take it easy. I'll let you go do your thing.
Canadian country. Sean, thanks for joining me. This was fun.
Definitely not on this. That's definitely not on my serious favorite list, Cody. I'm sorry.
You got to get up here for Stampede. You'll change your mind. Okay, you guys.
Music?
Yeah.
Adios.
Well, we'll get your mind changed on the country music. That's for sure. That was Sean Higgs. You guys appreciate all of his time today. Sorry, we got a little bit off topic. If you don't know, I'm a huge music fan. Music comes into my head whenever we're live on these shows. You guys bring up something and a song basically starts playing in my head. So sorry for the squirreling on this Monday morning. Feel like we needed it though. It's been a hot minute since we've had Sean Higgs on the show, and all we had to do was wrap up our best bets here. We got 6 minutes to get my best bets to fade or follow like Madden. I also want to just look at that poll. We're still seeing, of the people who went in and voted, X versus the books tonight for Monday Night Football, 42% of the love coming in for the Kansas City Chiefs. This moved from 50% earlier in the morning. So love starting to come in for the Jacksonville Jaguars, plus 3.5 at 15.8%, or money line. It's coming in right around that plus 160. The under 26.3% of you liking the under 45.5 and the over 15.18% of you guys liking that. Again, Sean Higgs is rolling with that over though, 45.5. And I think you have to if you think Jacksonville's going to have success out here. If Jacksonville has success, I do think both of these teams score into the 20s, pushing us over this total. He's going to look at Juju Smith-Schuster for the anytime touchdown at plus 295. He is bringing sexy back, getting these great plus money touchdown props, as well as Strange coming in at plus 340 for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So you guys, let's look at what I'm liking. You guys know I'm all about the D. I love the defensive props. We're going to get into those. Let's first look at what I'm liking straight up in this game for props before we get to the defensive props. It is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Plus 3.5. I forgot to put it on the screen here, you guys. Apologies for that. The Jacksonville Jaguars plus 3.5 with the sprinkle on the money line. I've been riding the dogs all weekend, looking at this week to be a dog week. I took all of them plus the points. So that's where I'm sitting. I had to take the Jacksonville Jaguars here. I think 3.5, if you get it, great number. We've seen the movement between 3 and 3.5. Get the 3.5 plus the Jags. And I'm kicking myself for not sprinkling on Denver last night to pull off the upset. I just had them plus the 4.5. So tonight I will be sprinkling on the Jags at plus 160. For them to be able to get there, Trevor Lawrence has to play his A game. I'm taking Trevor Lawrence over his rushing yards. You look at the pressure that the Kansas City Chiefs are able to bring out there. You're going to see Chris Jones just coming straight at Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is going to have to run. That defensive line is going to be all over him. They're going to bring that defensive front, put that pressure on him. Trevor Lawrence has to run over 10.5 rushing yards at minus 108. I do think because he's under that kind of pressure, we get in the red zone, we're on the 2-yard line. The Kansas City Chiefs have only allowed one quarterback to get a touchdown thus far this season. It was Jalen Hurts. It was on a tush push. If Trevor Lawrence can fake the handoff, scramble in, I do think he can get in the end zone at plus 650. Sign me up all day. I told you Sean Higgs brought the sexy back with that great plus money touchdown props. I'm going to go not as much plus money. It's Xavier Worthy for the Kansas City Chiefs for me. When we're looking at the Chiefs side, that's plus 155. I do think Worthy gets over his rushing and receiving. I'm playing the both numbers, you guys, because I do think what we've seen from the Jacksonville Jaguars defense is they're able to bring that pressure. They're forcing those turnovers. And I do think they're going to put Mahomes in situations where he's not going to be 100% comfortable. I think we're going to see some short passes off to Worthy that would have been plays deep downfield that just got stunted there. So I will look at Xavier Worthy over rushing and receiving. That's 62.5 for that number at minus 114. Then I'll look at him to get in the end zone at plus 155. But I do think Patrick Mahomes throws an interception in this game. It's coming in at minus 102. Now, if you want to look at Trevor Lawrence, I'm not just picking on Mahomes. I think Lawrence probably throws one in this, especially if they are playing that role from behind. But the books think so too. You'd have to take Lawrence for 2+ interceptions. That will be a live betting situation. I'm not seeing the books having it up yet. It is only noon, right? Eastern. So we're not seeing those numbers. So shop that line. It's minus 160 for the anytime interception. So not somewhere I can go with that. Seeing your comments coming in. Worthy has a sore ankle. Yeah, I know Worthy has a sore ankle, but I think they play things up like that. And the Chiefs defense will decide this game. Absolutely agree with you. That defense has to bring it for sure. You're talking about the sacks, and you know that's where I love to look. It's all about the defense for me, you guys. Let's look at the defensive props on Monday Night Football and where I'm going. I got two guys for the sack. SF, I don't hate where you're going with yours, but I looked at Chris Jones here for the Kansas City Chiefs at plus 124 for the anytime sack, and Armstead here for the Jacksonville Jaguars at plus 174 for the anytime sack. I think both of these players have the ability to get to the opposing quarterback. We look at the offensive lines in front of them, and I do think both defensive players will be able to break through and get to them. In this one, I'm looking for a strong defensive performance, even though I could see both of these teams scoring into the 20s. Their ability to come out and get those sacks is there. So my all about the D, you guys, is Monday Night Football, Chris Jones, anytime sack on Trevor Lawrence at plus 154. Armstead, anytime sack on Patrick Mahomes at plus 174. They're going to bring it in this one, you guys. But thank you so much. I can't find my screen. There we go. Thank you so much for joining me here today on All-Jo Madden. We are back here live on Thursday. So make sure you come over and join us. Thank you to everyone who was in the chat today. I appreciate you guys so much. All the best in all of your bets. Until next week, stay hot and let's make some freaking money.